so that you can continue to build a foundation for yourself as you move through difficult terrain. Hi everyone, my name is Brianna Jolie. I am an intuition guide here on YouTube, as well as an Akashic record reader and a tarot card reader. Today I wanted to talk about the elements water, earth, air, and fire, and how to harness and use the elements in your own home in a really sustainable and practical way. The elements allow us to tap into our wild wisdom, and by wild wisdom, if you're new here, I mean the wisdom that we have had access to across many of our lives, as well as it's rooted in our intuition and instincts to use them for the good of us and for the good of others. So the elements are really fun and inviting to work with because it is very low cost to work with them, because you can just walk out your door in nature and collect things to harness your practice. And the elements allow us to balance out our energies in many ways: our chakra systems, our feminine and masculine energies, our grounding energies connected to the cosmos. It all allows everything to be recalibrated, rebalanced, fleshed out, so new space is allowed in. If you're into astrology, you have probably gotten a taste of the elements by understanding where your sign falls in the elements. For example, I'm born in July, I'm a Cancer, so my main element falls with water energy. And that's an energy I've been working with really intuitively since at a young age. And now coming into more of my adulthood and my spirituality, I've been able to harness the other elements as it applies to my rising and moon and other places in my chart. Now that's more astrology, that's for another video. What I really want to talk about and hone in on is the elements and using them in our home. So throughout this video, we're going to start from the ground up. So let's start with Earth first. Earth allows us to tap into our physical world. And if you know tarot, you know the pentacles. What's interesting also about pentacles is in tarot and in other forms of spirituality, pentacles represent more earth energy. But if you are new to spirituality or new to some of like the little nitty-gritty facts, the pentacle actually represents all of the elements in one, as well as spirit representing a separate entity. In the actual pentacle itself, it's called a pentacle. So you actually have earth, air, wind, and fire, as well as spirit as each of these points in a pentacle. So the earth is our material world, like I said again. It is also our purpose, where we ground and where we can also reflect on maybe what we're trying to call in or what we're trying to release. Because the earth is rooted in the ground, it's truly the beginning. This is kind of where you can start to understand and feel where your purpose is. The messages are truly in the ground below you. It's now just lifting them up. So starting there is a really great practice. And some of the ways I like to practice earth energy is by just literally being on the ground, by either being closer to the floor or actually sitting outside. Another way to connect more to the earth is by removing things between your feet and the ground below you, taking off your shoes, taking off your socks, and just roaming around outside. You're actually creating an activation and a clearing there, whether you know it or not. This allows messages to come through more clearly, as well as to gain better clarity on where you're trying to go. Especially if you're going through a major shift in your life, whether that be something in your career or a new relationship, grounding is really important for allowing for us to feel supported before we make really big decisions. Another way I like to tap into earth energy is crystals. Crystals are all rooted in the earth. They come from the earth. So if you find yourself having a lot of crystals around your home, or you're curious about crystals, your intuition and your instincts are telling you that you need to tap into more earth energy. Now, again, we can talk all about crystals all day long, and maybe we will in another video. But if you want, I can send you some other tools on that. But while we're here, put crystals underneath your bed, put crystals in your home, use crystals in your everyday practice, whether that be having them nearby or meditating with them to start. And if you're here and you know me, you know I love animal medicine, so here are a few animals that can help you tap into earth energy. Think of woodland creatures, forest creatures. So we're talking about wolves, we're talking about other little cute forest creatures, and we're talking about really heavy grounded animals like elephants, rhinos, really big sturdy animals. So if you're trying to tap into earth energy, think of forest, think of woodland, or think of really strong, powerful creatures that are also kind of like those gentle giants, the ones that are really grounded and rooted into the earth. Again, earth energy is all about giving and receiving. So if you're in your home, giving and receiving can look like making a meal for somebody else, taking the time to listen to what they need, really supporting them, helping them to ground, and then allowing that energetic exchange to occur naturally. We're also talking about lots of sleep, lots of rest, a lot of getting cozy with a cup of tea. That's kind of the earth energy that I'm trying to project here, because it doesn't have to be out of our immediate realm. It doesn't need to cost a lot of money. Earth energy is abundant, and you can flow with it by just walking outside, sitting in some grass, and listening to the messages that are trying to come forward so that you can continue to build a foundation for yourself as you move through difficult terrain. So we've covered the basis of the earth. Now moving up from the earth, we reach water. Now, if you're familiar with water energy, you probably know all my Cancers, Pisces, and Scorpio friends who are really tapped into their intuition and emotion. This is the key to working with water energy. Water energy, I feel like, comes so naturally to all of us because we literally come from water. We come from the womb of our mothers. And in water, we learn our human, we learn our humanity, we learn how we connect with others on a familiar level, on a relationship and intimacy level, and also just on a pure friendship level. This also all has to do with water, how we interact, how we collaborate, how we move with one another, and how we move within ourselves. It's all about flow. So truly with water, we learn to understand and know ourselves through feeling. This is where really your intuitive powers and gifts and psychic abilities really come to life. They begin to bubble up to the surface. So we're really looking at intuition, cleansing. If you think of water, how it can clear and clean things, literally just clearing energy. You've been doing this forever. I know. You were like, Brie, I've been doing this all my life. Of course you have, because you've been following your instincts, and thank you for doing that. As we speak about cleansing, bring out some water to release and cleanse and move away some old patterns you've been working with. If you're into moon rituals, water is the perfect element that matches the moon. The moon is literally held by water. If you know Cancers are ruled by the moon, Cancer is a water sign. So if you're doing your moon ritual, I highly recommend bringing a cup of water, a glass of water, and pouring your intention into your cup and drinking it. We confuse water with energy very, very easily with just a slight touch, a slight intention, a hand over the water. I've done a reel on this on my Instagram, just teaching people how when you really focus on water and the intention, whether that be a physical touch or just mind to matter, you can fuse water with any type of energy you want. As we continue to speak about being in our home, why not take a bath? Do a ritual in the bath. Bring in water, bring in salt, bring in some other aromas that feel good as you sit really in your divine feminine. Your divine feminine is attached to your sovereignty, is attached to your psychic abilities, if that's something you want to tap into more, or to heal trauma, relationships, inner child work is really beautiful for water energy. And I guess you can think which animals I might mention as we talk about water energy. Of course, aquatic animals. So think of your dolphins, think of your seals, think of your fish, think of whales. Whales are really, really, really potent animals. animals for animal medicine, especially in water. So think of an animal, a water animal or aquatic animal that you resonate with, and use that in your meditations. Call upon that animal guide in readings, tapping again into that intuition, into that psychic nature, the hierarchy of the mother. That is where water energy is going to be so rich for you. As we understand water being like such an adaptable element, use that adaptability in your own life as well, or at home. If you feel really stuck in making decisions, or if a big wave comes through, learn to ride the wave. Use practices like journaling to help flow with those decisions, to help adapt and change the narrative. I really like putting water energy with journaling practices, meditation, and channeling, especially in or near water. I love channeling the Akashic Records in a bath. As we move on from water, we are now going a little bit higher up into the plane where we reach fire.